This video is going to be a look at the Ravens' 10th possession in their Week 6 win over the Titans. I thought it was a really clutch possession. There's going to be 3 third-down conversions that I'll try to focus on. I got some feedback after the first video I put out Monday night about Lamar. People saying he didn't play well, and there certainly threw an interception. The Titans threw a lot of coverages at him, and he handled them brilliantly 94, 96% of the time. There was times where he scrambled, and people have pointed out, oh, there's someone open on the backside. The read progression sometimes is such that 1 is open, throw it. 1 isn't open, 2 is open, throw it. If 3 is open on the backside, you never get there. That's the way the reads work. Sometimes it's left to right, sometimes it's right to left, sometimes it's deep to shallow, sometimes it's shallow to deep. We don't know. We don't get the benefit of those things. I'm actually going to start this video off with Geno Stone's interception. Super clutch, if you ask me. About 5 minutes left in the third quarter. We're only up 18-13. Titans have the ball. They've already crossed midfield. We get this incredible play by Geno Stone. Third interception this year. Marcus Williams, unfortunately, gets hurt on this play. I don't know about you, but there was a moment here where I was like, are we going to take this back to the house? But then right here where he cuts back to the sidelines, like, all right, no, we're not going back all the way across the field. Some guys are coached like, this is unfortunate to say, but it's the reality. Some guys are coached, hey, you're a near sideline go guy, meaning you're not allowed to, or we're not giving you, explicit permission to bring this thing back all the way across the field. Certain guys, you let them do what they're going to do. But Geno Stone looks like a guy who's a near sideline guy. And if he's going to cut it back, don't cut it back against the grain a second time. But, man, we've got a tremendous football player there in Geno Stone, a guy who can fill in repeatedly when we have a safety out, either through injury like Marcus Williams or ejection like Kyle Hamilton. End zone angle, same play. And then we'll get to, like I said, the 10th possession. Ravens are up 18-13. Get the ball back. I don't know about you, but I was very anxious prior to this play with Tennessee having the ball just past midfield, us only up 18-13 with how many games we've lost in the last couple of years where we're leading for much of the game and then we just kind of crumble and give it away. It looked for a moment there like that was going to happen, and it did not. I think this 10th and then 11th possession is one of the main reasons why, besides Geno Stone's interception there. So we'll show every play on the 10th possession, and then I'll just show 2 from the 11th possession. I think I'll be able to get the point across that Lamar did a lot of good things in terms of going through the progression. No one's open on this play. It looks like a half-field read. Titans did a nice job of mixing up zone, some man-free. They played an invert cover 2. This is a 2nd 9. Very next play. Great catch by Zay Flowers into the boundary. We got Andrews and Flowers into the boundary like normal. Andrews just kind of clearing out this inside linebacker, getting him out of the way on one of these to basically clear this guy out of there and let Zay Flowers just sit down here. Lamar throws it a little bit to the inside of the field, more towards open space away from the safety. Zay Flowers, a great catch, if you ask me. Gets another extra yard or two, 7-yard gain on 2nd and 9, sets us up with a 3rd and 2. I think it's a brilliant play call. Zone read, and this guy right here is a better blocker than we were led to believe, Nelson Aguilar. Now, it's not like he pancakes anybody here, but he's willing to get out there, gets the correct leverage on McCreary, who is the force player. So McCreary's being told, you're the force player, keep Lamar inside. He can't dive inside and give Lamar all that space to the sideline. I love when we go hurry-up mode on some of these third downs. I think we've got to throw the ball occasionally on these 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3s to keep defenses honest, but we've isolated this D end. I think 96. I think it's Autry. He's an underrated football player. The Titans are full of some good football players on that defensive side, regardless of what we think about, some of the questionable things that happen in the game. I think they're a really tough football team that's better than their record. Hill, cross and face. This D end is the read guy. We have 11 personnel on the field. So Aguilar is the play side blocker. He's just arc releasing, that's what that's called, up to the safety. In this case, it's the nickel McCreary. What I love as well is that Justice Hill is the read man. He could get the ball on this play. Once he doesn't get the ball, he's not just, taking a couple steps this way, oh, I don't have the ball. He's taught well. Okay, let me get off this wall here because you can see the wall of blockers that's developing here, that potential cutback if it was a give. And it looks like it could have been, but it also worked out for Lamar. So, what do? He didn't tackle the dive back, and he didn't tackle Lamar. He's trying to play that half-man technique. Great call, great usage of Lamar's skills. 1st and 10. Incomplete to Andrews deep. I think you've got zone to that side and man to the backside to Bateman. We certainly could be looking backside at times to the man side, meaning if it's 3-by-1, You're normally going to get man on the backside. You can see the relationship of that DB versus all the guys over here. Let's talk about Likely for a second. This is a nice job of him chipping Arden Key down. I'll show you the end zone angle, and then taking over. I think that's McCreary. No, actually, it's not McCreary. I'm not sure who that is. Taking him over. Certainly, it's a ball that is up there, 50-50 ball. Lamar, if he's able to hold on to this ball a split second longer, might throw this ball further up the field to Zay. You can see he's already pulling the pin on the grenade. I love the concept. You got Andrews, and then Zay Flowers could potentially take this up the hash, bring it back more towards the corner. I'd like to see something like that eventually out of this offense, out of this look where Andrews and Flowers is on the same side of the field. Of course, we've used that before. We just weren't able to get it there. Great job by Likely. Check him out. End zone angle, same play. Again, this is a 1st and 10, so I like the play call. After picking up the first down, let's go ahead and be aggressive, try to work the ball downfield. Lamar's going up top. Definitely a ball that the safeties and the corner are there on. Biard's a hell of a player. I mean, that guy looks like he's going to be able to play forever. 2nd and 10, going to be complete to Andrews into the boundary, and it looks to me like the possibility is there that we could throw this ball over the top of that to Zay on the inside. So there's a deeper in cut by Flowers from the boundary. Again, Flowers and Andrews are to the boundary often, working off of each other. It's man free. And you're getting this deeper in cut by Flowers. Maybe the ball could be thrown somewhere in this area here once Andrews has cleared Biard out of there, meaning once Biard has declared, okay, it's man. Let me clear out of there. Lamar's already let go of the football at this point. He's getting rid of the football fast. Like, you got to give him credit, even if there's a second player there. That's an example, if you ask me, where we're often too judgmental evaluating NFL players who know 1,000 times many more things than we do. The ball's already out here, so people are like, hey, this guy's coming open. Let's throw the ball there. Zay's going to be able to run after the catch. Well, that's true, but Lamar's already read the man free, gotten the ball out to one of his best players, who unfortunately is unable to get away from Biard on the snap, or on the catch, excuse me. Sets up a 3rd and 6. One of my favorite plays of the game. No one is open. They're really triangulating Andrews over the middle of the field. It's trips left B. So the trips is up here. Some kind of confusion between the receivers about who's on the line, who's not. Gus late in the progression. Watch how these guys just end up triangulating Andrews in the middle of the field, but virtually taking that away. I think it's an invert cover 2. During the game, I thought that was cover 3, but I'll show you what I mean in invert cover 2. Normally in a cover 2, you'll have, safety's feet here, safety's feet here, a Mike linebacker here. These guys get depth to half field defense. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let me check. And then the Mike is going to, run between the hashes deep. They do it the opposite way this time. This time the corners get depth. They get the deep halves, and what looks like curl flat defenders push the flats immediately, and then this guy sits in between the hashes, taking over what is essentially the Mike linebacker running the pipe in between the 2 hashes. So I would call this an invert cover 2. Other people got different phrases for it, but you can certainly say these 4 dudes right here look like they're playing cover 3, and this guy's just a free safety dropping down. Well, look, Tampa 2 is basically a cover 3. It's a disguised cover 3 in some ways. Except the outside leverage deep defenders are certainly, closer to the middle of the field, being near the top of the numbers. Nice job by Lamar of recognizing there's nothing here. Nothing here. Maybe Aguilar, could sit this down between those 2 defenders near the top of the numbers, but as it stands, great play by Lamar. 12-yard gain to Gus. I don't know about you. That moment right there was huge as far as determining, who's going to win the game. We had wasted a point earlier in the game. It could have been 19-13. Could have been 25-13 at some point once we get done with this video. And I'll show you the one play from the 11th possession and the field goal. Not a big fan of this play call at times. I feel like we've kind of worn this out maybe at this point. Teams see it. I mean, they're just attacking. This is a fast, talented, aggressive defense. There is no BS in the Titans defense. I got to give them credit. That was a 1st and 10 after that first down completion to Gus. We got 1 yard. 2nd and 10. This is an amazing play by, I think it's Pecco. We get bunch right B, run Hill out of there. Not really much available unless, maybe we're going to take the shot up top, one-on-one, the backside of trips. They're not really devoting an extra player at all over there right now. We have given them no reason to devote an extra player because we're not attacking backside, in my opinion, at all, regardless of whether we're open or not, regardless of how much separation there is. I'm not saying it should be thrown. I'm saying we're not going there ever. As it stands, Lamar gets out of there. And look, this looks like it's getting ready to be over. And this is an amazing play by an NFL defensive lineman. He's tackling Lamar. Second shoestring tackle that saved a touchdown. Yeah, the final score ends up being 24-16. It very easily could have been a 30-plus point game. I don't know about you. I'm tired of saying that, to be honest with you. 2nd and 9, that 6-yard scramble by Lamar created this 3rd and 3. I was surprised that we go 22 personnel under center on 3rd and 3, and we go play action. Likely does this kind of like Jill ISO insert. Lamar does Lamar Jackson things and gets the first down. Ricard's going to step here, and likely he's going to go insert inside. And the timing of this, him and then Andrews kind of end up like stacked together in the same area because likely's trying to step inside of Ricard. You can see the exchange there. We would call it Jill. And if it was a run play, the linebacker 50 is blitzing, runs right past likely. So he's not reading anything. He's just attacking, probably a blitz call. Gets in Lamar's face. There's really no opportunity to do anything here because there's pressure. And so thankfully we've got a guy who can do this. Everybody doesn't have that dude. I think it could be a determining factor in this game against the Lions this week. They were really shut down in terms of their pass rush against the Bucs last week. Of course, the Bucs got a great offensive line. How is that dynamic going to translate, or how is it going to transfer, if at all, against the Ravens? Same play, end zone angle. This is 50. You can see he's going to go on a blitz. Ricard steps out, likely steps in, and then brings his route to the sideline. So we're just folding him inside. 50, as soon as he sees an open window, he's gone. And a great job by him. You can see that if he's not there, he's probably in coverage here. People would say, well, Andrews is open. If he's not blitzing, he's probably in coverage to some extent. And we've got tight windows there on the play action. Different kind of call on 3rd and 3. I don't know. I'm not sure that I think it's a great call, to be honest with you. Certainly not a big fan of some of these. We do get 6 yards by Lamar. I don't think we're doing a great job blocking at the X receiver down here to the bottom side. I think it's Bateman. We're not really getting much movement. But look, the Titans have enough players here to stop this. They got the nickel, McCreary to the field where the Twins are. And they've kept, I think it's Biard here, into the boundary, spun down. So kind of like a sky call to the weak side. Bateman goes and gets him. So we're leaving the corner unblocked, saying, hey, that's the guy that's got to make the tackle. Well, we don't block this guy well enough, and he gets involved in the tackle as well. It is a 6-yard gain by Lamar. 2nd and goal, run by Gus. This one's kind of inconsequential, if you ask me, other than the standpoint of this 4-eye blows up Ronnie Stanley. Not saying that the play is going to succeed at all, but a 4-eye is different from a 3, and I think this guy's a 4-eye. I'll show you the end zone angle in a moment. I mean, he's just going to stone Ronnie Stanley, reset the line of scrimmage backwards into Ronnie Stanley's chest, hands on the inside, totally destroys the flow of the play. The pulling guard, Zeitler, gets stacked up. End zone angle, you'll see the same play. So whether it's a great call or not, it doesn't matter. We're getting destroyed here. Like I said, it's a 4-eye inside shade of the tackle. So he's engaging the tackle. Ronnie's trying to take him down. Maybe he needs to get his head on the other side, but it doesn't look like right now there's a whole ton of force on some of these down blocks or these situations where he's one-on-one. 3rd and goal, this is the scramble by Lamar against zone, and we don't get anything out of it. Reason I went over this video in depth is I love the 3rd down plays. I love the ability that we were able to, other than this one, of course. Lamar going in reverse, the 3rd and 3 scramble. I mean, that's just an amazing play. He only got 3 or 4 yards out of it. I think it's 4. But we picked up the first down. We got another series of plays, another 3 opportunities to try to get the ball in the end zone. At some point, we're going to have to throw these routes to the outside, the back shoulder fade, which is a safer throw than the out down there. We did throw one last week. I don't think that OBJ against Joey Porter Jr. I don't think OBJ against Porter Jr. is the best matchup. This guy, to me, looks like someone who can win those things, but we don't have a ton of film of it. We're not looking there in any case, but at some point, we're going to have to go over here to the back corner of the end zone. I didn't like where we threw the ball last week against the Steelers and didn't like the matchup anyway. So we're held to a field goal, but at least it gets us a 21-13 lead. And then we'll show one more offensive play, I guess 2, Before we're done this video, I think Lamar did a lot of good things given how many coverages and how many situations the Titans asked him to respond to. You can look at statistics if you want to, sure, no problem. I mean, number one, we got to win. Number two, I've shown you plays of Lamar executing against various coverages. This is a unique coverage to the boundary, and Lamar's taking advantage of it. To the top, they're pushing out. They're pushing two guys out to the flat, so you could say it's like a quarters type coverage. This guy stays flat, almost like he's expecting some type of help over the top. You get, what is essentially two verticals and only one guy to defend it. I mean, Lamar just throws it to the inside. There is no middle of the field safety help. And it's kind of an easy throw for Lamar. He just layers it over the top. Nice touch to get it in there. Maybe that ball could have 2% more zip, but I think it's an amazing throw. And just another example of how many different coverage variations the Titans used and how Lamar was able to adjust to them quickly. Last night I put out a video that showed him checking to two plays on third down and us getting first downs. Big plays out of it, in fact, in both situations. Got to give him credit. End zone angle, same play. And then we'll show you the tight end quarterback sneak. Four-man rush, guys pick it up well. And Lamar layers this over the top of the boundary side safety. I think it's Biard. And then the boundary side corner, Murphy Bunting, who's an athletic dude, came over to Tampa Bay. Tries to make a play on the ball, but Lamar's put it on the inside shoulder of Andrews. Well placed to allow him to catch the ball just before contact. I mean, that's the margin for error in the NFL at times. There just is not a huge margin for error. So we go down, we get a field goal here. But I want to talk about this 3rd and 1 tight end sneak. I like that we're motioning Andrews in to do this. I understand the concept. You're using a bigger body than your quarterback to try to push it. I don't think Ronnie Stanley's doing a good job here. I do think that Aguilar is. It's basically a wedge concept. Aguilar's diving to the inside to try to get inside of any potential defenders. And you'll see it from the end zone angle a little better. And I don't think Stanley is. Watch where Stanley ends up at the end of the play. And that is the seam where we could theoretically have gotten more push. We got the least amount of push on that side. Let me phrase it that way. It's not an easy freaking job, okay? But Stanley, to me, doesn't look like the same guy so far this year, and that doesn't feel good to say that. So what I'm talking about is watch Aguilar get to the inside of 95. I think it's 95. And then Stanley, isn't correspondingly trying to get to the inside and finish off, either 94. It seems to me like this is a wedge concept where you're trying to everybody work to the inside and you're trying to create a wedge. Think about what a wedge does. And to me, the wedge is broken right here, and that's the space that Andrews tries to sneak onto and where we get the least amount of push. I mean, the initial spot I thought was bad. I thought we were a little bit closer. Is it a bad call? Is it a good call? I don't know. All I know is we ended up with a field goal to put us up 24-13. Now I'll digress for a minute, as if this video isn't long enough. Let me know if you guys like me breaking down every play on a possession or on a drive. It's fun to do. I take the notes for a reason during the game. I will say this. Being up 24-13, at one point there was a comfort level. What about 25-13? I kind of like being up 25-13, 25-16 after they get the field goal late. Of course, they're on our 1 yard line at one point inside of the last 2 minutes of the game. So 25-13 could have very easily turned into 25-20. At that point, that 1 point doesn't matter. At that instance, that 1 point doesn't matter. I'm referring back to the first half decision to go for 2 and we're up 15-3. We initially complete it, penalty on OBJ, and then we get the extra point blocked. I'm going to continue to harp on those things because our margin for error, just like the completion to Andrews that I showed you, our margin for error is small. In the NFL, there's less time and less space available to the offense to execute things, and you're going to win by smaller and smaller margins, particularly as the season progresses. I don't think we're the type of team that can give away 1 point every week and expect to have a season that could be 12-5 or 11-6. Not end up 10-7, or 9-8. Hopefully I said that in a way that makes sense. You may disagree, and that's no problem. I just think that the Ravens should not be leaving points on the field in any case or scenario, because as we've seen the last 2 years, oftentimes when we do that, it comes back to haunt us. In this case, it didn't, I think because of some clutch plays that Lamar made on the 10th possession, and that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention. You guys let me know what you think of the video in the comment section. Appreciate your time.